Hello, the World Wide Website. We're Hack the Dino. That's Dan, I'm Ben, and we're at AVCon. Dan, what is AVCon?
It's the best time of the year. Actually, it is one of my most favourite conventions in Adelaide. Basically, you've got everything you want to do in a convention here, plus more. You've got like a giant gaming hall where you can play games for free.
Retro games as well as modern games.
Yes, the Retrospect Museum is over there. We have Nintendo here. There's also all sorts of other stuff. There are speedrun competitions. There is Gundam building. There is a board game area, so tabletop board gaming. There is a big main stage where they're doing esports and stuff like that. There's also the exhibitor hall, so if you want to buy stuff, you can... Stop that. You can...
I was explaining that I was bored.
Ah.
Board game.
You can't... Oh, I get it. There is also, all sorts of stuff. There's food here. There's a maid cafe. There's cosplay. People dressing up as them things. There is everything here in this one place. And it's always my most exciting time of the year. I love it so much.
And do you know what else is here? Us, Hack the Dino. That's right, we're here recording all weekend. So we're doing something a little bit different this year. We're going to be uploading sort of mini 5-10 minute segments to the main YouTube channel throughout the weekend so you can see them. The full episode will come out sometime during the week as well as the podcast. So be sure to check out those videos, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, help us grow, but hitting that like button really, really does help us do a funny dance.
Yeah.
All right, let's go on to what we've been playing, and Dan.
This week, actually, I've been pounding, it's called, I always get the name wrong, I was called Wonder Boy. It's actually Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom.
You've been pounding Monster Boys.
I've been, it's basically, this game is basically Wonder Boy 4. So it's set in the same world as Wonder Boy 3 and the Dragon's Trap. You play as a new kid. You don't know who he is. He's just he's got blue hair.
He's a boy.
Yeah, you actually have a little character that comes on who's looking for the green-haired girl, which is referring to the game before, which I think is very, very cool. You start off and your uncle flies in on a barrel of enchanted nectar, drunk, and with a magic wand that he somehow got, and he turns everyone into the kingdom into monsters. And it's your task to find the 5 orbs and to reverse the spell. And each time you fight a main boss and you get an orb, and that orb changes you into a different monster, which straight away you can scroll between. So first off, you get changed into a pig, and he has the powers of sniffing out secrets and stuff like that. And then you get turned to a snake, and every character has really, really, which I found was really amazing, really unique abilities, and it makes for some really, really, really good puzzles in the game. In the point when I was streaming it, I did get some puzzles where I was like, I have no idea how to do this. And I had to think for a while, really think outside the box. And I'm like, oh, I get it. You know, you have to hit the bees, and the bees come out and then hide in the water, and then the bees go do this and stuff like that. Very, 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 very cool game. As someone who's a massive fan of the Wonder Boy series throughout the whole lot, this is a very good game. It is a lot longer than the last game. I reckon it's going to clock in and around about 20 hours. I've got the first 2 of 5, and it's taken me around about 4 hours to get to that point. So it's going to be a great... Are you shrinking to my size? No. Good. It makes me feel better. Finally, I'm on top. Anyhow, enough of that. We digress. Ben, what have you been playing?
Thanks, Dan. I've been playing Mario Maker 2. I know, big surprise. First of all, this game is awesome. Like, it builds on everything that was great about the first game and then takes it, I don't want to say to the next level because I don't want to sound like this guy, but it takes it to the next level.
Did I say next level?
You do. But let's pretend it was a pun, because Mario Maker, you make levels. So this takes it to the next level. Level Mario Maker 2.1 coming at you in your Switch. Anyway, the main problem that I foresaw was the fact that you can only use the touchscreen in undocked mode. However, using the controllers is so easy and just intuitive. Yeah, thank you. Intuitive that I actually prefer using the controllers over using the little stylus that I got with my pre-order.
Ooh.
I know, stylus. Now, I've got some notes. I'm going to have to cheat and look on my phone. Story mode comes with it because obviously you need a Nintendo Online subscription to play the courses online and play other people's courses. So if you don't have that, you can still buy it and play the one-player mode, which is 100 new levels made by Nintendo. It's basically a Mario game.
What did the first Mario Maker, how many levels did that have in it, or pre-made?
None. So you just played other people's levels.
Oh, that's cool. That's very cool, because 100 levels is basically Mario World.
Yeah, so it's basically a brand new 2D Mario game. And what's more is they use some game mechanics within those levels that you wouldn't normally see in a Mario game in order to get there. Another thing they've added is they've added goals. So you can do things like you have to finish the level with Mario having a star, or you have to kill 3 Bowsers in order to finish the level. And if you don't do that, the flagpole at the end has just disappeared.
How do they, because they've got the 3D stuff in there now, how have they brought that into it?
It's 2.5D.
Oh!
There it is. There it is. There's our one per show. So it's really...
2.5.
That's right. You can also, after you finish someone's level, there's an like the last one, you had the opportunity to star the level if you liked it. This one, you can boo it or like it. So if you get some rubbish troll level, you can boo it. And it's a symbol of a heart that's broken in two. It's great. So everyone who does a little crappy troll level or a level where you just run the entire length of the screen and then finish it, you get a boo from me.
Do you reckon that's going to make it so it won't come up in searches as much, like algorithm style?
I reckon what it may do is prevent you from getting those types of courses. So if you frequently not like auto-run courses, you won't get auto-run courses. Another thing they've added is a tagging system. So when you make your level, you can put specific tags in as to what the level is. So you can have auto-scroll level and a puzzle level, and you put them in, and then people can search for them that way. One thing I was bummed that was missing, you can no longer have Amiibo costumes on there.
It's a small sacrifice.
It is, but those Amiibo costumes are really, really cool.
Amiibos, are they still relevant, you reckon?
Yeah, well, they're still using them. They still have plans to use them. They're still releasing them, including a nice little Link from the Link's Awakening coming in September. I've already pre-ordered mine. It's a cute little boy. Yeah, that was... We'll cut that.
We won't.
There are new power-ups which haven't been released before in a Mario game, including one from Super Mario Land, which when you get it, plays a theme that's very, very familiar to some Hack the Dino listeners.
Ooh.
So I'm going to be making a Hack the Dino level. I just unlocked it last night. So when that's up, I'm going to get Braden and Dan to play it in a Let's Play or something.
That's a great idea, actually.
So that'll be coming soon as a little segment. The one thing that I really, really didn't like, typical Nintendo fashion, 1 step forward, 2 steps back. The online, when you play multiplayer online with 4 people, if one of those people has a bad internet connection, everyone does, and it lags horribly. So you're in this little box while the countdown comes, while they sync up everyone, and if you've got someone with a bad internet connection, it literally moves like this if someone's jumping.
Is that for like the 4 players on screen one? Like,
Yep, the 4 players on screen. And being in Australia, there's not a lot of good internet connections.
So they didn't go for Royale, like we thought, our hit prediction?
No, they didn't go for Royale, but I made a Fortnite level, which I thought was pretty cool.
Ooh, good.
I like it.
What?
Yeah, I made a Fortnite level. I'll show it. We'll find it. And
we'll play it.
Yeah. I'll make some levels and we'll do a Hack the Dino Let's Play where you guys can try and beat my levels.
We'll rubbish talk you to death.
And I'll cry. It'll be fun for everyone apart from me because I'll be in tears, probably drowning in them. So you'll see Dan and Braden laughing and I'll be going...
Drinking those salty tears.
News time! Okay, it's time for news. Are you having a stroke? News! It had been rumoured that Xbox Scarlet wasn't one next-gen console, but 2, codenamed the Anaconda and the Lockhart, I believe? Lockhart. With Anaconda being the high-end 4K extravaganza and the Lockhart being the lower end.
Is that not true?
Well, it's another rumour has since come out suggesting that Xbox has decided to only go to one console, the Anaconda, primarily because a lot of their developers who were developing games didn't have the resources to develop 2 versions of a game, a high-end one and a low-end one, so they were just going the low-end one. So had they gone ahead with this, Xbox would probably had another disaster on their hands.
Low-end games all coming out.
All the all the popular games that people want to play would only appear on the low-end console, the cheap console. So they would have been in big trouble. So,
but this is a rumor debunking a rumor.
Yeah. So I mean, who's to say that's even true? But I thought it funny that Xbox still learning from those mistakes from this gen.
They're the young guys. They've only just come in. They're the youngest of all the gaming dudes. They're console.
No, that's fair. But, I mean, they hit a home run with a 360 and then proceeded to not run at all.
Just bring out 360s.
Well, no, they released the Xbox One and that stunk up the place. Worse than you after having some chocolate.
Yeah, it should have
Braden.
been the Xbox number 2.
Such a dumb joke, but it's good.
Yep, I like that. Moving on. Our good friends over at EA Games. The EA executives have very kindly voted not to receive their bonuses this year after the poor performance of the company. Now, just so you know, the company was 27% down this financial year. They've laid off over 300 people and have overseen horrible failures such as Anthem. But the good old executives at EA, at the generosity of their hearts, voted to not take their bonuses. So thank you, EA. You're truly brilliant, masterful people, and we cannot wait for you. I can't keep this up anymore. EA, get your act together.
I bet they really are missing their ivory back scratches they were going to get.
I know. And look, EA, I know you're watching this. Just stop. Just stop. Stop. You're making me angry. I'm throwing all of Dan's property around. Just stop. Think of Dan, you selfish. River City Girls has been announced. Now, this is going to be on all consoles and Steam. The original River City game, was it Rampage or was that the sequel?
I don't know. River City.
River City was on the NES, and it was one of the best NES games you could get. It was a side-scrolling beat-em-up. The Scott Pilgrim game that came out on the...
Cloned it.
Yeah, cloned it, and again was a brilliant game that you can't get anymore because licensing. You're going to stream it?
Yeah, I'll probably, yeah, will. This is actually Ross, who I own the Greenlight with, is the original River City, which he says the Japanese name, which I can't remember what it is. It's one of his favourites. But this looks...
Jeff.
This looks great. It just looks amazing.
Thanks for that insight, Dan. You asked for the mic and I thought you had something deep to say. It was like, oh, this looks cool. I think we got the trailer going up at the moment, but yeah, you saw the trailer, right?
Yeah.
It looks sweet. And the boyfriends get kidnapped.
Such a good idea.
And they just kick ass. And really brutally as well. Like they're grabbing people's faces and like kneeing their nose to the other side of their head.
Yeah, they've got like knuckle dusters with spikes on them, which seems really unnecessary in a child fight.
No, well, I'm all for it, and welcome our new fighting overlords. And finally, we haven't done this in a while, Pokemon Go news, Dan. Are you excited?
No, but I did see one of my mates was cruising down here at AVCon when we were setting up, and he had his Pokemon Go going with dual screen. He had 2 accounts running at the same time on his phone. And I'm like, I didn't even know that was a thing.
That's not supposed to be a thing, but people do it.
Oops.
I've seen people with like 4 or 5, like an iPad, and then resting on the iPad, they have 3 phones, and they're all playing Pokemon Go. It's, anyway, I've only got the 1 account, but big news coming to Pokemon Go. They've done some data mining and found out that Team Rocket and Shadow Pokemon are coming to Pokemon Go.
I can't believe that Team Rocket aren't already in it. Everyone loves Team Rocket. Why?
Yeah.
It's the thing I actually did like about Pokemon. They're not in it yet.
Oh, no. God. So what they're doing is Pokestops and whatnot are going to have shadows over them, and they're going to be captured by Team Rocket. So you walk up to them, you spin it, you battle the Team Rocket members, and then you have the chance to free the shadow Pokemon that they had. So basically a Pokemon who's all purple because they're evil.
Just the same, a different colour.
Yeah, and then you cleanse them by trapping them in a bowl and ordering them to do your bidding. And perhaps the biggest news that I'm very excited for is Armored Mewtwo is finally coming to some kind of Pokemon game. Now, for those of you who don't know or aren't familiar, Armored Mewtwo first appeared in Mewtwo Strikes Back. Was that the first Pokemon film? Well, like they have him cloned and he's got all this armor and he looks really, really kick-ass, looks like a mech dude. And they've never released him until now.
You were, we actually have talked about this before. You've always been about Armor Mewtwo. Like, even I know who he is because of you banging on about him.
Yeah, and I was always bitter that we never got something like that, and we finally have. So that's coming out very, very soon as we're recording this, and I cannot wait to get my hands on that mythical digital pixel man. Anyway, we're going to go now and film some stuff around Greenlight. Dan, any final words?
Yeah, so if you're down at AVCon this weekend and you're seeing this, will they be able to see this before?
Yeah, I think Braden's we're gonna sit down and edit this now, and it's gonna go up very, very shortly.
Yeah, so if you're at AVCon this week, come over to our the Greenlight booth where we are running a competition with Brain Hacker and Infinite World Tattoos, where you can get, if you get a selfie with us and then put it up on Instagram, you can win a big prize pack. So yeah, come to us, do the geeky trio.
And
triangle.
triumvirate. And Braden and I will be walking around all weekend, filming, interviewing, talking to people. We're going to head over to the Nintendo area because I'm very excited about that. We're also going to head over to the Retrospect area and play some retro video games. I might explain what some of these consoles are. Heaps of stuff coming out. Thank you very much for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Do all the things that all the other YouTubers tell you to do, but do it for us first. Anyway, I'm Ben, that's Dan. Braden's behind the camera. We'll be talking to you soon with our face holes. We're here at AVCon all weekend. I'm Ben. This is Hack the Dino. Well, it's not. I'm Hack of Hack the Dino. Actually, no, I'm Dino. I'm Dino of Hack the Dino. And this man here is a good friend of Hack the Dino, Mr. Mark Latour. Did I get that right?
No, not yet. It's been, how many years have we known each other? It's Latour. It's a tricky one. It's a tricky one.
Latour.
As long as I always say, as long as it starts with an L, that's fine. That's fine.
Almost 6 years, by the way.
Yes. So like a little bit of practice, you'll get there. Another 6 years, you'll nail it.
I refuse to. Anyway, Mark is a comic book artist and sometimes writer. Yeah.
Like I write. I'm not a writer, but I have ideas and stuff that I want to draw, and so I write to facilitate that, basically. So.
And what comic book projects have you done and are currently on, if you can talk about them, of course?
So I have done some work for Gestalt Comics, Australian publisher. I am still currently working on one for them, which is it's taking a long time. It's quite an undertaking, this one, and I've been a little bit neglectful of it. So that one's still going. Also working on my own one, which is Icarus 2120. Which is right there. It's the elevator pitch. It's a Greek mythology sci-fi time travel story. So basically a retelling of the classic Greek myth of Icarus and Daedalus in the labyrinth, except instead of Daedalus building wings for them to escape from the labyrinth, Hades comes to them in the labyrinth with an offer. He will help Daedalus to build a time machine to send Icarus forward into the future to bring back a gift for Zeus. So there's basically two timelines running at the same time in the comic, telling the story as it happens, kind of thing.
It looks like a very interesting comic, and I think there's a lot of detail in a lot of the maze parts as well.
You will be amazed. Edit that out.
No, he's right at home here on Hack the Dino.
Wow.
Just cop some of this action. Look at this.
So I don't know, you tell me where I need to hold that. But basically, that's the labyrinth, which is like this big cylindrical nightmare for them and for me, because it's a big cylinder. Anytime I'm drawing them, it's in the background because it surrounds them. So I end up drawing the labyrinth endlessly, but it looks impressive once it's done. So I just focus on that. And
speaking of being really impressive, if only there was a way I could get the pages early. If only there was a way that I could, I don't know, give you money to get preview pages or...
Well, actually, you know what? If you were to jump on patreon.com/MarkLautier, you would actually, for as little as $1 a month, be able to read the progress as it happens. I'm already up to basically page 60 something or other. So that's, if you jump on there, that's basically one of the cheapest comic books you're ever going to find. It's one of the best as well. So get on there.
My goodness, what a coincidence! I mean,
I know. Yeah, it's funny the way that worked. That you know that I'm working on the comic book, but you also just happen to mention, wow, that's.
Well, we're professionals here at Hack the Dino. We do our research and don't shill at all, ever. Hey, you got some statues coming.
I do. So me and my friend and business partner, Matthew Klemenko, we have started up a statue company called Skilled Studio. You can check us out on Instagram, skilled.studio. And we are working on we've got a number of projects in the works. We have our very first resin kit, which has been produced. And I'm just working on the final product packaging, etc. for that. And it's basically one of the characters from my comic book. She's one of the Furies from the future timeline. So she's like this cyborg kind of chick. Which you'll probably edit something in there so people can see it. And we've got a statue which you can see now because they're going to edit it in as well. This is the magic of TV and, there it is. So she's basically this mechanical cyborg chick with a big chain gun, big shotgun. Very high quality resin statue produced by the same factory that the guys at Prime 1, Sideshow, all of these guys use. So we're going top quality from the get-go. So she's going to be available to purchase along with the other two, which will go behind to make like a full desktop diorama. And we've got Hades coming along as well. So we've got the 3D file for Hades done, and we're basically just in the process of dealing with the factory to get quotes and have him produced, and he's very impressive as well. So a lot of stuff happening.
You got a timeline on when we could start seeing these bad boys on the shelves, or where are you going to sell them, around cons, or?
Online, mostly in Australia. Although, so basically through our website, skilled. Studio, I believe it is. I should know these sort of things. The first of the Furies, she is basically going to be ready to go within about a month or so. Like I said, we're just finalising the last of the actual product packaging and everything. Hades is a little bit further off. We are basically getting quotes, etc. So later in the year, Hades is going to be ready to go as well. And then basically next year is going to be a big year for us. We're going to have the other two Furies and a couple of Hades and then a couple of other properties that we're working on as well. Those are going to be available as well. So the best place to check us out is basically on Instagram, skilled.studio, and that all the updates go up there and all the details for where you can get these amazing statues which you can't find anywhere else. They're our own original designs. So you can buy 1,000 Batman statues, yawn, okay, seen him, boring. Or you get, one of ours, haven't seen them before, amazing, talking piece, highlight of your collection. So by all means.
Good advice, and one that I subscribe to over on patreon.com/Mark, his last name. Now, you mentioned next year's going to be a big year.
Yes.
You've had a big year this year.
I have had a big year.
You did a little album cover for a well-known band called the Hilltop Hoods.
The Helltop Hooks or something like that. I think that's what they're. Yeah. So I did. I was very fortunate, and I had the opportunity to do some covers for their singles. It was for Exit Sign and Leave Me Lonely. So when you check those, they actually released those singles on some small vinyls, which was really, really neat, with the artwork on there. So that was fantastic. I've moved into I'm in the music biz now. Like I'm all about it, aren't I? I'm like some kind of like outrageous entrepreneur. I'm doing artwork. I'm doing, I've got my comic book going. We've got a statue company going. I'm in the music biz. Like, what's next? I don't even know. Like, I'm going to the moon or something. I'm waiting a call from Elon Musk. I'm going to Mars. That's it. Like, he's going to get one of my statues, and he's probably listening to Hilltop Hoods right now, and he's like, you know what? I need this guy on Mars. He's just killing it here on Earth. We need to get rid of this guy. Send him off.
Well, my understanding was that they needed someone to design the holodecks for the Mars spaceship.
They needed someone. They have someone for that. Yeah. What a pity. What a pity, because Because if you're in space for too long without earthly surroundings, you go bonkers. So they're basically designing, as I understand it, the rumor is they're designing a holodeck, and it's got, good lord, this is, if only people knew what we were actually talking about.
In-jokes are the best.
Oh, yeah.
Let's not make any qualms. Hack the Dino is about me popping my friends. That's it. That's all I want to do. So where can I go to give you money again?
You can go to, you can give me money right now if you want.
That's not happening.
Okay. Oh, where do these?
There you go.
Are they right? Okay. Patreon.com/Mark Lautier. It's MarkLauthir.
And what about if I wanted to purchase one of these fantastic, awesome prints?
Oh, you can jump onto Lauts.com, LAUTHS.com, and on my Instagram, which is Mark_Lautier, has all details as well. And people can always get in touch with me, email, Instagram, websites. I'm all around it. So,
ladies and gentlemen, be sure to check out Mark
Mark Lollipop.
This interview's over. AVCon, synonymous with many things, but the one thing it's known for, the one thing above everything, is underpants. And we've got the expert here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Andrew. I remembered his name from last year. It's Andrew from Brief Battles. Andrew, welcome back to Hack the Dino.
Hey man, it's good to be here.
Here, yes, this is our studio, so our new Hack the Dino headquarters. As you can see, we're supporting local industries. Now, you've had a really big year since the last time I think Dan spoke to you. Tell us the journey that you've been on.
Yeah, well, we finally released our game, which is pretty damn exciting. So yeah, Brief Battles is out now on our Xbox, PS4 and our PC, and Switch version's coming not too far off now as well. But yeah, pretty insane releasing our first major title, all platforms. Went smoothly, great reviews, can't complain, yeah.
Now, are you a traditional PC or a console man?
I probably play more things on console myself, except for couch games like Brief Battles. Yeah, whip out the console for that, get friends around on the couch, have some fun.
What console was your favourite growing up? You know where I'm headed with this, but...
Growing up, well, I didn't really have many consoles growing up. Parents wouldn't buy me a game thing. Pretty sad, right?
See what you did, Andrew's parents? You see, this is all your fault. Blame them.
I think they made me make games, though. So I had like a PC, though, which I played like your classic Duke Nukems, things like that. But my first console was GameCube. Loved it so much. But then Xbox probably was my favourite. Controllers, just so much better.
This interview's over. No, only reason I ask is because it's something, because I'm not talented at all and I will never release a game. Actually having the notification that you are going to be on Xbox, on PlayStation, on Switch. I mean, what's the feeling when that email comes through or that contact comes through?
Yeah, pretty sensational. I think it was just hard to believe. And I think for a long time it still kind of like was unbelievable until it's actually happened. Getting the game, now it's actually on the storefront, seeing it there. Yeah, still ridiculous. It's still kind of like...
Speaking of ridiculous, Hack the Dino, we're big fans. We're big fans. Big Fran Dreschers, we all have nasally voices, and we love Mr. Sheffield. We're also big fans of Kinda Funny Games.
Yes.
Now, am I correct in thinking that a party mode starred Brief Battles?
That it did, yeah. We pretty surprised by that as well, so it came out of nowhere. We didn't get told anything about it. And yeah, suddenly they were just, it was in their schedule, it popped up in Google search results, and they were doing it. Yeah, it was amazing, really, really funny.
And have you managed to talk to any of the guys or got any feedback from them?
Haven't spoken to them directly yet, but we'll probably try and bounce up to catch up with them to maybe play the Hold the Gold Bear Buns. I reckon that'll have a bit of fun running around naked, trying to get the old only pair of undies in the match.
And what else have you got coming up? I know, was there a second game there that you're sort of toiling away on as well?
Well, yeah, so after developing Brief Battles for like 3-ish years, we kind of wanted to do, we thought AVCon's coming up, can we make a game in a month? So we only got about 7 days free to like make a 15-minute demo. So it's called our Drone Delivery Co. And right now we're just seeing if it's going to be any good, if it's going to take off. But pretty much the premise of it is like drones making weird, crappy drones to take over human postal services. And it's going to be weird, physics-based, strange stuff. We can build drones, do crazy stuff.
I saw a bit of it before, and I think one of your fellow developers was just sitting back and quietly chuckling as people were struggling with the physics-based program. It was excellent to see.
Yeah, that's definitely it. I think we've got some really wacky ideas. A couple of them weren't ready for prime time for AVCon, 7 days after all. But no, it's working out pretty good. It's shaping up.
Oh, well, you've got, in a year now, we expect 5 more games, all appearing on the Kind of Funny Games showcase or wherever else they may appear. Where can people buy your materials and find out more about Brief Battles and making robots that want to take over the postal service?
Yes, you can check out our company website, juicycupcake.com. That's a good place to start. Otherwise, search for Brief Battles on any popular game storefront.
Andrew, thank you very much for joining us on Hack the Dino once again, and we'll be sure to salivate over... Actually, I was going to say salivate over your underwear. That's not... This interview is actually over. Watch me destroy this little boy.
Destroy that boy.
I'm going to kill his little pet Pokemon. Ben here for Hack the Dino. Yes, we are still at AVCon 2019. I almost said 2017. Thinking back to better times, but I could have gotten away with it. Oh well, we're out the front of a little game company, quiet developers. You may have heard of them. They're called Nintendo. And this is Jordan from Nintendo, and he's going to talk to us about Nintendo. Hi, Mr. Nintendo.
Hey, how's it going?
So what are you doing here with AVCon? What's Nintendo's presence here?
We just want to bring a bunch of our games that we've either had out since 2017 when the Switch launched and stuff that's a bit more recent.
That's why I said 2017. It's when the Switch launched. I'm a professional, and...
So we've got Super Mario Maker 2, which came out just last month. So maybe not even 2 weeks. So that's been out for a little while. So we've got people playing through the story mode on that. And then we have the handheld table for the making part of that. So people can make their own levels on that because the touchscreen's really nice to use for that kind of thing. And then playing the big story mode levels on the TVs there.
I also noticed you've got a couple of little competitions going as well with some Nintendo freebies.
Yeah, we like bringing the freebies to AVCon actually because people are always really keen. We've got the challenge wall here. So we've got Super Mario U Deluxe. On there, we've also got Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, and on the other side, we've got Captain Toad Treasure Tracker and Yoshi's Crafted World. So the Yoshi's Crafted World and Captain Toad side, that's a score challenge. So beat the score, which for those games is collecting the items like the smiley flowers in Yoshi or the diamonds in Captain Toad. Yep. You also have to beat the boss in it and get a certain amount of coins as well for that one. And on this side, it's time trials. So beating the time with a certain amount of time left on New Super Mario Bros. U Deluxe, and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is Mario Circuit 150cc's. They're not hard, but it's just a little bit of a taste for people who maybe haven't played competitive before and they just kind of want to dip their toe in. And then we'll just give them free stuff.
Free stuff's awesome. I came in and got it all. We came in before opening with my daughter, who's 11 years old, and she creams me on Mario Kart, so I wasn't even going to try that. But then Mario U... Yeah. I had to go to speedrun it in a certain time, and she laughed at me because I died on the first Goomba. She couldn't even finish the level. Yeah. So, Parker, if you ever watch Daddy's videos, I'm very disappointed. I'm not. I'm sorry. I don't mean... Anyway, we've got some really cool games coming up from you guys soon. I am a little bit of a Nintendo fan.
Oh, yeah?
Just
a couple bits?
Just a couple of bits and pieces. First thing I'd love for you to hear about from you is Luigi's Mansion 3. Yep. That's coming up soon. There's no release date yet, and we won't hit you up for when that's released as an exclusive or anything like that. We wouldn't dream of doing that. Yeah, what can you tell us about that?
Well, it's kind of our closest thing we've got to a survival horror game coming from a first party, like Nintendo perspective.
Anything where you play as Luigi, you have to survive it because he's just hot trash.
Yeah, he's had a bad run. Like, people do like to dunk on the old Luigi. We gave him a year all to himself a little bit.
Yeah, and that year, the year of Luigi, was Nintendo's lowest grossing profit for the past 30 years or something. So, Luigi?
Yeah, don't disappoint us this time. Nah, he'll do fine. I've actually seen, like, from what we saw at E3 as well, especially, such a nice looking game as well. The atmosphere in it is excellent. The multiplayer in it is going to be great. The Luigi aspect of it, which was, they introduced in Luigi's Mansion, the 3DS remake of number 1.
Yep.
So having that as like as an additional part of Luigi's Mansion 1 was cool, but this is a core part of the game now, so I really think it's going to be super handy and really like a game changer, as opposed to, you know, there's some differences in number 2 from number 1, but this will be like a whole new gameplay mechanic, which will really make it feel like a good sequel.
So what's Luigi really made of? It's snots, isn't it?
It looks like boogers. I reckon it's boogers.
It's snot Luigi.
Yeah.
One of the mechanics that I really love about it, from what I saw on that E3 video, was the fact that Luigi can half suck the ghosts in and just belt them on the ground like that. And they're already dead, so it's not animal cruelty or anything.
No, it's fine. He can use as much force as he wants. He ain't hurt nobody.
Nobody. Ladies and gentlemen, Jordan from Nintendo. He'll be here all today.
Yeah.
Now, you were talking before about Astral Chain that's coming out, and this is specifically your jam. Dan, who's our co-host, is a big fan of this.
Yeah.
Tell us what you like about Astral Chain.
I love Platinum Games. They could do no wrong. They're just weird enough to be like, it's so obviously Japanese, like Bayonetta, for example. They did Nier Automata as well. Yep. One of the leads from Nier Automata is working on Astral Chain as well. Oh, wow. So they've got this sweet pedigree of just like all these great artists, as well as some character designers from some really old manga, like the guy that designed the Legion, which are your anime cop like buddy, yep. Like your partner. They're these interdimensional beings that they've captured. That was designed by a guy who did Zetman. I don't know if you've heard of that. I can't remember his name. It's Japanese. But he's a very, very legendary artist, and he's just got such an iconic mech style. So that really shows through in Astral Chain as well. You look at all the different creature designs and stuff like that. It's so iconic. It just makes you want to just like, oh my God, it's so good. I want to chop things with it.
And what I really like about it is Platinum Games has come out, I think, 2 or 3 weeks ago and said, oh yeah, this is planned part 1 of a trilogy. So if you buy it and it sells, we'll make others.
I think that was a mistranslation, actually. I don't think that. Yeah.
No, don't say that.
Yeah. It's in. They were like, what? What?
Don't listen to them. Don't listen to the Nintendo authoritative.
For it to be a trilogy, honestly, I would play that in any format that they choose to give it to me in. Just give me more anime cops, man. I'm down.
You heard it here first, folks. I'm bitterly disappointed. Another game you've got coming out very, very soon is Pokemon. I was going to say, oh, jeez.
Yeah.
My thought process then, I went to go, let's Snap.
Yeah.
Because I want a Pokemon Snap on the Switch, but that's not coming. We've got Sword and Shield. Now, what can you tell us about that?
Pokemon Sword and Shield set in the Galar region, which is Europe, essentially. What I think is really cool about Sword and Shield, actually, is for the first time, we've got a actual British guy who works for Game Freak who is designing all the Pokemon. He's the lead designer for the Pokemon this time, which is amazing for a Japanese company to come out and be like, you're in charge of this one, you get it. Like,
especially Pokemon.
Yeah, especially Pokemon. And like their creature design is, you know, what has made them the huge juggernaut of brand that they are now. So for them to let someone take the reins like that is just kind of really exciting. I'm keen to see what like different sort of weird left-wing kind of stuff that we haven't seen before just come out from this game.
Who are you going to pick? Who's your starter?
Probably the bunny. I like Score Bunny. Really? Yeah, I don't know.
Are you a soccer or football fan?
Not really. Like my family's English, so like I grew up in that environment, but it's not my thing. I'm an inside boy. Like I play Nintendo games all day. I don't go outside. Well, I play Pokemon Go, but like that's my forcing myself to go outside.
Personally, I'm going after that grass monkey. That funky monkey. Yeah. Grass monkey.
I think for me, it'll depend on the evolutions as well. So if they show us the evolutions beforehand, if I'm like, it's not, I like them cute. If it stays cute, I'll keep it. But if it's like too big and bulky, I'll be like, oh, no, I'll just go with the other guy. Yeah.
And possibly the biggest surprise for me this year was the announcement of Link's Awakening
the remake,
coming to Switch, which just out of nowhere. Now, I heard a rumor that originally it was a dungeon creator level that they've got in there, and then they had extra room, and they just went, oh, well, we can just do the put the game on there.
Yeah, let's just remake the game. I didn't hear that actually. I know that the chamber dungeon is the main addition to the game. They've kept it pretty much exactly the same as the storyline and the plot points of Link's Awakening. They've just done an amazing recreation of it, which is great because I don't know about you, but I find it really hard to go back to Game Boy games. They're too punishing for me.
I'm a retro gamer. I play those things every day.
Me too, but like SNES era is where I sit pretty. Just because you can save and you go back to the certain point, but like Game Boy and NES especially, I don't have a lot of free time. So like if I'm getting punished and I have to start from the beginning and I'm like, no man, this game sucks.
Well, I mean, back in those days, we didn't have a lot of money, and you bought a game, and that had to last you about 8 months. So they had to make it hard.
Yeah, I was the same too. Like growing up, I had a NES, and then we got the 64, and even that was similar. But my birthday's at the end of the year, so I only got one game a year. So like I got Birthmas, 64 games, so I'd have to play the game all year until.
I'm so sorry.
So
what a horrible thing.
Informed choices about what games I picked up at Christmas.
Oh my goodness! So they're the big three coming out. I've drawing a blank. There was another one you wanted to talk about. Damian's Markia. Yes, we had that. Was it a try and break it early type deal where they wanted to do all the faults? What can you tell us about that one?
So Daemon X Marker is all your anime mech fantasies that we haven't had satisfied since the last Armored Core game. So the Armored Core series is where these guys have come from, and they're working with Nintendo to make this game, which is more stylized, and it's also got heavy metal thrown throughout it. Like it's just I don't know, it's pretty badass piloting a mech, and you like skid across the floor really stylish so you can jump up and fly around the air. You got giant swords as well, so you can just like switch gun to sword and stuff like that, and just wreck falls. It's so much fun.
Oh man, if only they had gun swords like in Final Fantasy, because they're what? Anyway, this has been Jordan from Nintendo. Thank you very much for your time today. You've got a stall to run. You're probably watching this and AVCon's over, so sorry, you can't come down, but Nintendo will be in an area near you. You've said you've got a lot more events coming up.
Yeah, we're doing events all over the country. We will often do stuff during the school holidays at shopping centres and stuff like that, but we'll be at PAX definitely.
PAX, definitely. There you go. Get on down to PAX and don't get pox at PAX. Yeah. Man, that is a bad ending, but I'm just going to stop it there. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I like Pokemon. Pokemon's really cool. In fact, it's probably the coolest thing in the world. No reason I'm saying that, just thought I'd bring it up. We're joined by Jess and James, who are blasting off at the speed of light. But they're not going to surrender now, but I will. Hi guys, how you going? Now, you got a little game here in the indie games area, extravaganza showcase place full of awesome, official name. Tell us a little bit about Tiki Trials.
Yeah, so Tiki Trials is a game where you undertake a fast-paced gauntlet of platforming challenges to appease the Tiki gods.
He said that before.
It's more than once. But yes, so it's sort of a 150 levels, fast-paced action platformer. The whole game takes place on one screen, and your goal is simply to just walk from left to right. Once you get to the other side, the level changes, and back you go.
Oh, so how does it change? Like environmental changes, or yes?
Yes. So basically, the wall comes out and comes back in, and it will change. Well, they're predetermined levels, but they get challenging as they go on. So different blocks will come out, and you complete that level. That blocks go back in, and a new set will come out.
Wow! And
make different levels. Yeah.
How long have you guys been working on this one?
Yeah, so around just over a year, about a year and a half-ish. We started working on this game in our third year of study at AIE, and have since graduated and released in April.
Yeah.
Oh, with Dr. Mike there?
Yes. Yeah, Dr. Mike.
Yeah.
Dr. Mike was our very first guest on the very first show, where we used SingStar microphones held in mugs as our microphones. Don't go back and listen to it. It's awful. But enough about me. How far away is it from being released, or is it released now?
It's already out.
Sweet.
Yep,
good. Did my research.
Yep, came out April 30th. Well done on the research. Came out April 30th, and it's been on Steam since then.
Great. And how's it all going? Meeting expectations? I know Steam's a hard slog. It's much like YouTube.
Yes, it definitely is. We're part of Steam's summer sale right now, so we're getting some good traction there. But before that, it has been a little bit slow. But today, I mean, and the whole weekend, it's been really awesome to see people actually like the game. Good or bad, it's all good.
Yeah,
anything to add?
Our game is directed towards speedrunners who are right over there conveniently. And about a month after release, we introduced a free content pack with an extra 50 levels, and have since released a level editor where you can build your own levels. So at the moment, we've had a couple speedrunners play and stream the game on Twitch, and we're slowly sort of growing a community there. So yeah, it's been doing pretty well.
Right, and are you going to continue with rolling updates, more DLC, or are you moving on to something else in the near future?
So how do we want to answer that one?
Well, yeah. So the plan is to actually just sort of see how sales go, see whether we get traction and sort of grow this community. And if things go well and we can fund the development of more levels, we'd absolutely love to continue this project. If not, we have other ideas in the back burner, so it's no hassle.
Fantastic. And where can everyone find you and more information and get this fantastic speedrunner of a game?
Oh man, so you can find us at Tiki Trials Game on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Had to remember them all. Where else are we? We anywhere else?
Yeah, so Facebook, Twitter, Instagram at Tiki Trials Game. We're on Steam, search Tiki Trials, we're like the 4th one down. And we're local, Adelaide, we're stationed on Perry Street, so you can find us there and pick us up before the end of the sale.
See, that's what I forgot. We're here, we're local. We're Adelaide local.
Here, Adelaide local. And if you don't have time, perhaps visit Giovanni's gym. They'll be sure to be hanging around, a couple of Meowths, maybe a Persian.
Yeah.
I'm grinding that joke into the ground.
Yeah.
I need the rose.
Yeah.
Don't care.
I'm missing the rose.
One of the things that I really love about AVCon is going into the indie games section and finding out all the brand new, upcoming, and majority of the time, local games. We're joined here by Arak, who is the creative director of Sprite Night. Arak, welcome, and what can you tell us about this gorgeous game, basically?
Well, it's a atmospheric platformer. I wanted immersion. I wanted people to feel. I wanted people to feel that they could sit here and just relax and take in the whole environment.
Right, and what's the goal of the game? What's the story behind it?
The story behind it is you're a little fae, a little mushroom sprite, and it's a night that the town has been taken over by the fae, and not all of them are nice. Some of them are going to be mean to their little brothers and sisters.
What? That never happens in reality ever, especially when you're a little mushroom.
These are fairies. They are
fairies. Fairy mushroom. Mushroom fairies.
Yeah, mushroom.
I'll stop.
And so they've kidnapped one of your little brothers or little sisters. They are mushrooms. They are not brothers or sisters. They're family.
I'm confused right now. So who's get kidnapped by the mushrooms?
Your little sibling.
Right, good. I'm back. Okay, we're here. And is there an overall big bad boss who you have to come up against, or is it a progressive journey to find them?
It's more like classic platformer. So a lot of jumping around. They're tied up to a bell tower. So you've got to get right across the little town, avoid all the lights because mushrooms don't like lights. And you've got to get and save this little sprite friend of yours before the sun rises.
Right, so you want to stay away from that mushroom kingdom then? SEO, we've got to do it. Yeah. Now, as creative director, any trials or tribulations you run into? How long have you been working on this?
Oh, right, yeah, we've been working on this for about 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive for 6 months' work, we can see here on the bottom. That's, wow.
Yeah, it was a team of 7, and we're a student team. We just, honestly, we haven't not expected the response that we've been getting. We just wanted to put a game together and go, right, we say, hey, wow, we've got a game out. To say we could make one, and yeah, 6 months, team's been very dedicated. Trials and tribulations, explaining Art Nouveau to young students, that was an interesting tribulation in itself. Because that was my inspiration. I loved the colours of Art Nouveau, the classic fairy tales, Grimm fairy tales, Hans Christian Andersen. I wanted that vibe. I wanted this to be children, adults can sit down and just go, oh, this feels like being told a story by my parents.
Awesome. That's a great way to describe it, I think. That you said it was atmospheric and get you in there, and just that description made me feel all warm and fuzzy. So that hasn't happened because I'm a cold, dead man with a cold, dead heart. Anyway, what's the plan for this? Is it released now, or will it be released soon? Where do you want to see it go to?
That's actually all, as I said, we have not expected the response we've been getting. We were just expecting to just push this out and go, hey, look what we can do as students. And instead we've had so many people coming up and going, when's this coming out? So, yeah, who knows where this might lead.
Corey Barlog, if you're listening, I know you are, big fan. Yeah, hit up Arak. He'll be able to give you the next God of War, but with mushrooms. Not in the Mushroom Kingdom, though. Just stay away from that. That's owned by people. These are... Arak, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
I don't know why I said coming. I'm the one who was here.
Thank you.
We are robots. Well, I'm not. I certainly don't know what you're talking about. I'm not a robot. Hello, human. This is Human Alex. He's not a robot either, but he is a We Are robot, and they make custom controllers. Alex, thank you for joining us on Hack the Dino.
Thanks for being here.
Sure. Now, tell us about these absolutely beautiful controls here and what you do at We Are Robots.
So, roughly 2 years ago, we started out kind of painting a couple of our own controllers. Come from a bit of a modelling background, painting robot Gundam model kits, kind of inspired the name a bit. And a love of kind of gaming and painting and modding stuff kind of came together, and we've been having a crack at doing custom controllers for the last couple of years. This is the second year at AVCon, and we've got maybe twice as many kind of designs as we had last year, so we're growing reasonably quickly and trying to push the boundaries a bit with some of the new designs, incorporating new things, textures, additional things like screws and handcrafted kind of elements to hopefully make something unique and different that people haven't seen out there from other controller modders.
Yeah, we had the opportunity to actually give away one of your Deadpool controllers, I think last year, just after AVCon. Had bullet shells as the buttons, and that thing was absolutely amazing. We were very tempted to keep it for ourselves, but no, we gave it to you, the viewer. And if you weren't the person who got it, it wasn't yours, don't worry about it, it's fine. But what do you actually do? Do you just do the cases? Do you do the whole controller? Do you mod the whole controller? What's the basic process that goes into it?
So we can do the whole controller in terms of things like the sticks, the buttons. Some of them we go through and modify, all over the whole kind of shell, the back of the shell, the front of the shell. Some of them we have different buttons. These ones have actually got, you can see it from there, they're little hand-crafted buttons to hopefully kind of look like little pirate doubloons. So there's kind of no limit to the amount of detail and stuff that we try and incorporate into a design. Obviously, the more work that goes into it, the more hours, the higher the cost. But we find a lot of people are really looking for something different and unique, and when they're after that, hopefully they find us and we can do that for them.
Now, they primarily, do you get people who want to use the controllers, or is it more of a trophy to put on the collection desk?
It's a bit of both. We find probably most people are looking to find one to put as part of a collection or a display. Some people, we've done some for some pro gaming teams and stuff as well, who use them on a regular competitive kind of basis. We use a high quality auto grade enamel finish that gives it a good strong kind of protection, so they're reasonably durable if you're looking to use one as a everyday kind of controller as well, as long as it doesn't have too many bits and pieces sticking out of it waiting to snap off. In those cases it's better left on a shelf.
Well, I'm sure every single gamer treats their controller with absolute care and precious like tendencies. I couldn't even get through that without lying. Anyway, Alex, thank you very much. Check out We Are Robots online. Check out their Instagram. Absolutely beautiful product that they do. And you can get your very own modified, specialist, amazing, sparkling, if you want it, controller for your very favourite system. Alex, thank you very, very much. That's it for AVCon 2019. We have been Hack the Dino, your nonsense variety game show thing that I haven't thought up a subheading for at the moment. Sorry, I just came off the retrospect panel, and that was insane. How'd you find it, Dan?
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really funny. I had a blast.
Would recommend.
A sonic blast.
No sonic blast. Sonic blows. Anyway, been Hack the Dino. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, help us grow so we can get nice and big and strong without eating spinach, because spinach is a bad vegetable. You can find us on hackthedino.com, youtube.com/hackthedino, twitch.tv/hackthedino, Instagram everything Hack the Dino. Dan.
And you can check out the clips that we made this week for this, all the things I shot, all the things I was in. Search for them. They're harder to find because I wasn't in any.
Dan was working and being responsible. But until next show, thank you and that word.
And we'll see you next year for the big AVCon Extravaganza Blue.
But more in 2 weeks' time with a new episode.